So we're on our local tailwater that's known for its very selectively feeding fish, and rightfully so. The fish here are not easy to catch. It's very cold. You might notice there's snow in the background. But we're going to do something a little different. We're going to throw a streamer at them on a Euro nymph rig, which is really different. I've got a heavily weighted streamer on here. Heavily weighted, by that I mean it's on a jig hook and it's got a rather large tungsten bead. Other than that, I've just got a thin Euro leader on that I'm going to cast across river and let the streamer get to depth, and then I'm just going to jig it back towards me, keeping contact with it the whole way. And I'm watching the sider just like you would when you're nymphing with a Euro rig, watching the sider for a take. So we lead it across the river. If the leader jumps, you set the hook. Let's try it a little further across. So right now I'm letting the streamer get down. Oh, there was a fish. I missed him. He ate it on the drop. Let's see if he'll give me a second chance. I wasn't ready for him to eat it on the drop. Streamer's down now. I'm just barely jigging it across. This technique, by the way, is in Modern Nymphing Elevated, if you want to see a little more elaborate instruction. Let's see if we can get one down here in the tail out. So here we have some big rock structure, subsurface, that I need to make sure I avoid during the retrieve or during the drift, depending on what you want to call it. But as long as I keep my fly kind of on the outside of that, it should be good. And the good thing is, structure oftentimes holds trout. Alright, I slid up a few steps, some fresh water. Since I already caught a couple down there, now they're feeling a little worked over, I guess. So we'll try it up here. I'm going to fish relatively close to me first. And if that doesn't produce, I'll take some casts a little further out. And then this is a little different than normal streamer fishing in that if a fish eats, I'm going to set with the rod instead of strip setting like you normally would a streamer. Okay, this pool's really deep, so I'm going to have to get a little more distance between my fly and my sider. So we're going to have to cut this off and give him a little more length. Alright, so I made an adjustment. I added some tippet below my sider so I can get a little bit deeper. Felt like I wasn't quite getting down to the fish. Let's see if that does the trick. Letting the streamer sink. Oh, there's a bump. Then twitching it through, and I got a bump on the first cast, so that's promising. Not a committed take, but a bump nonetheless. Try and really subtle. The water's really cold, so really subtle movements, jigging wise. When the water's this cold, the fish are not likely to chase and really tear after something, so we're trying a presentation that's a little more vertical than your regular stripped streamer. On the bottom with regularity. At least now I'm down that way. There it is. Roll down the streamer.
Whoa, that's magic.
Well, what about magic? It's a frozen net. Fish are lethargic. But that one leapt right into my net. Pretty little brownie on the Euro streamer. Now we got to find his neighbor.
Stiff netted.
Stiff net.
Decent specimen.
Yep, decent specimen. A little above average for this particular fishery. Streamer right in the snout. Give him a breather.
Bye.
Adios.
And that is how you catch fish on a Euro rod rig with a streamer.
Euro with the streamer. They're liking the downstream. Cast it up, let it sink, let it get across from you. Once it's across from your position and downstream of me, then they're eating it as I retrieve slowly across current, kind of hopping the fly along. Jig streamer. Decent brownie, a little thin after the spawn, but that'll fatten up by summer. Oh, she goes. Come on, fish. Yes. Ask and you shall receive. They're just particular about that angle.
Yeah, for
That
sure.
wasn't the case last time. You could get them straight upstream from you if you like. So again, it's just that angle change. We were fishing upstream, more up and leading the fly down. We got a couple of grabs that way, but they're not liking it. They're liking it a lot more when we cast it across, let the fly get to depth, and then kind of slowly hop it across the bottom, side to side, bank to bank, if you will. Jig right in the upper lip.
Yeah.
Panic jig hook for the win. Compared to yesterday, it's pretty balmy out here. Pretty thin, but